some interesting drams in some very unusual places. Slange. Hi, my name is Hugh True. My job title here is a sales and marketing manager. So my whiskey journey actually started as a whiskey tour guide at the top of the Royal Mile in Edinburgh. And I very much took on the attitude that if I'm gonna get into whiskey, I wanted to learn from the ground and work my way up. So I passed all the internal accreditation within that company, became a whiskey masterclass tutor, and eventually I was headhunted by Edrington and Beam Suntory. It took me about 4 years, but I eventually became a luxury sales manager for Scotland. So selling Scotch to the Scots is very, very good fun. Maybe going to be a bit of a cliche answer, but it's the people. In every facet of the industry, it's filled with amazing, colourful, interesting characters. And everyone has a conflicting opinion and view on certain things, but ultimately speaking, we're all singing from the same hymn sheet, we're all friends, and actually at the end of the day, we can all go for a drink and have a nice dram together. I've had some interesting drams in some very unusual places, but a couple of years ago, I went touring in the French Alps, and we managed to hike up to a very, very high point. It was actually the highest point on the trip. I smuggled a wee bottle of 37-year-old Glenrothes up the mountain with me. And we had it in these tiny little folding thimble cups at the top of the mountain. And that was pretty epic. So yeah, very special. It is Highlander Inn's Auchentoshan, filled back in 1997. 26-year-old. For me, I absolutely adore this dram for two separate main reasons. First off, Auchentoshan was actually one of the very first distilleries I ever visited, and it's one of the only Scottish distilleries to fully triple distill every single drop of liquid. The character is sort of velvety and silky and smooth and sort of creamy. It's just a beautiful liquid. And the second reason I really adore this dram is actually because of the bottler, the Highlander Inn, which is personally probably one of my favourite places to have a dram in the world. The owner is a lovely chap called Tatsuya, who bottled this. And he actually got the old distillery manager, a guy called Alistair MacDonald, from Auchentoshan to do the tasting notes, which are obviously bang on, but it's a lovely, creamy, sort of sweet, classic lowland malt. And I don't think the lowlands get enough of a shout out. There are some really brilliant whiskies from the lowlands, and this just so happens to be one of them.